Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, basically I posted this video, I'll put it on the screen somewhere, and did it go viral? I guess. But on TikTok a lot of people have recreated this look, and I thought I've wanted for a long time to do it, but the time just wasn't right. But then I did it the other day because I finally put it on my to-do list, and I was really happy. It turned out really nicely. And basically loads of different people are asking me for different things, like how did you do your brows, how did you do the freckles, show us how you did the eyes, how did you do your base. So I thought it would just be easier if I did a YouTube video and just made sure that I did each part, explain what I did in each part in detail. So whatever you need or you want to take from this, you can just skip to that part. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for the love. If you're coming from TikTok, I'm just gonna comment on my lips because they're dry. Let's get into it. So I've prepped my skin already. The very first thing I did was I started off with brows. Believe it or not, that was my first time actually trying the bleached brow look. I'm not an expert, bro. Like I did not know what I was doing. I just tried my best. What I did was I used a brow soap first. So I'm just using the Eyelash Cosmetics brow soap. Spraying some water on with a spoolie. I mean onto a spoolie. Just this looks dirty, sorry. Just raking it through and then pushing it through my brow. And I did that just because I think it kind of sets the brow a little bit, puts it in place and makes it more defined, so that when the concealer's going on top, it knows where it's going. Do you know what I mean? Gives it more structure. Okay, I think that's enough now. So the next thing I did was I got my concealer. So this is the concealer I use. I use my Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I'm in the shade Caramel, and this was literally, it turned out to be like the perfect match for me. Like it looks really good. So I got this, and I liked using this as well because it's got a small wand. Do you know what, let me zoom in. Start off with this one because that's what I did first. I just placed it on top, but I tried to keep it in the middle at first, if that makes sense. So I just followed my brow along, trying as much as possible not to get it too close to the edges, because I can clean that up later. This is literally what I did, guys. Like, but I guess because I've got quite full brows, it was kind of easier for me. Oops. Okay, so I got a rough outline for this one. I'll move on to this one. Can you see? Yeah, you can. So you can see how I'm applying it. Kind of messily, but I'm still trying to stay within the confines of the brow. I'm really not trying to go over it like that, because it's better to be more careful with how you apply it first than be really messy with it and clean it up after, just because why would you don't want to have to clean it up, you know what I mean? Like all the skin prep you've done in your eye area, if you're cleaning it up after, you're kind of messing it up. Can't lie, when I did this though, I was kind of like, it took me a while, so literally just take your time. Okay, I'm happy with that for now, so put that down, and now I'm going to get a brush that I use to do my brows. I'm going to first start by like cleaning it up, but I haven't really gone over the edges like that, like over the boundaries of my brow, for me to have to clean up much at all. Now I think I got a smaller brow brush, just a smaller brush that you can use to detail a bit more. Just get your small brush, get some concealer on it and apply it to that area. I can't lie, babes, this is my second time doing this, and I can't lie, the first time I looked at it I said, I don't know if this looks right. Again, I'm looking at it, I don't know if this looks right. Let me go look at my own video. I think this is where I'm happy to leave it at. Cool. So the next thing I did was I got, where is the brush that I used? I got this brush, and because it's like dense and flat, I set my brows. This part you have to kind of be careful with, and I feel like leaving the concealer on for a little bit before doing this, just because I don't want it to move. I'll just do it really lightly because I'm not patient right now. I don't have time. How did I set them? Did I use the font? See, this is what happens when you don't write down clear instructions for yourself, because now I'm trying to redo this thing and I can't remember how I set my brows. Anyway, I'm using a bit of my Fenty Beauty powder on the brush, and then I'm adding some setting powder. I'm basically mixing the two, swirling it to get off any excess, and then lightly pressing. Just be really careful because you don't want it to move. Like, there's literally liquid that is not been set. Do you know what I mean? I'm scared, I don't like this. You know what, I'm gonna leave it alone, because if I do anything else, ooh, I'm about to mess this up. I'm about to mess this up. We're leaving the brows now. The brows are over. So now we're moving on to face. So now this is just my normal routine basically. So I went into concealer first. The two concealers I always use, Fenty Beauty concealer in the shade 390 and then the e.l.f. Camo concealer in the shade Deep Olive. And this is how I always apply them. So I just get some of my Fenty, literally like this. Top lip, chin. So that's my more skin tone one. And then I get my e.l.f. one, put in the corner, 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 and then 3 here. And then my chin. And then I blend it out. When you're blending out the concealer, make sure you're proper snatching that eye, yeah? Because it's also good to have it as like an outline for where the shadow goes as well. Because you know, okay, I'm not putting the shadow past here, it's just going to be strictly in this area. You can see it better on camera actually than I can in the mirror. Okay, concealer blended, moving on. So the bronzer I use is the Makeup Revolution Splendor bronzer. This one is in the shade medium dark. And the brush I'm using is the Urban Studio Powder 161 brush. I bought this in TK Maxx. Like, it's not necessarily about what brush it is, it's more about the shape and the density. So if you can find a brush that looks similar to this is so dirty, you're fine. So I'm just going into my bronzer. Bronzer, I think I was quite like, bronzer is important because you want that like carved look, that snatched look. Placement is really important as well. So I'm placing it, the hollow of my cheeks down here, but I'm placing it here. I'm blending it outwards, and I'm really trying to leave that gap where it's up here. You can see that gap for the concealer where it's up there. I don't want to encroach on that too much because I just don't. That's not the look I'm going for in it. I'm literally blending it. Ow! Ouch! Anyway, I'm literally blending it like into my hair, into my sideburns. Look at the difference. Can you see the shadow? Like, I know the sun's coming from, the light's coming from this way, but yeah. This bronzer is really, really good, but you have to be kind of careful with how, see look, I've messed up there. Sort that out after. But you have to be careful with where you apply it, just because you don't, or how you apply it rather, because sometimes you'll add loads and then it'll kind of not mess up, but you know. And these days what I've actually been doing is, because I have the medium dark and the deep, I add a tiny bit and then I just so I have hyperpigmentation right here and I'm basically accentuating that while making sure I blend it out, because it just really nicely deepens the bronzer that I've put on already without it being too harsh. It's really, really deep without it looking like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with her face? You know what I mean? Okay, let's do the nose while we're here. So everything's all blended into the same like layer, if that makes sense. So again, medium dark. I like to use this brush. This is the Morphe, is that a 3? Anyway, this is what the brush looks like. It's tiny, it's black. Yeah, tiny bit of this bronzer. I'm just following. So this, I had to be a little bit more careful obviously because I don't want to blend it into and disturb the brow, but I still want to carve out my nose and make it melt into my brow. So basically the bronzer is being focused on this area, like you can actually see the outline that I've put there. And then I'm bringing it down a little bit, not too much. Same on the other side. I think it was more subtle than I did, but I really like the nose part that I've just done, so that's fine. Okay. So we've done our concealer, we've done our bronzer. Next thing we're going to do is set. So again, my setting method, my bronzing and my setting have slightly changed recently. I don't know why, but I'm liking it. This is the B Cosmetics concealer brush. B Cosmetics in Superdrug, if you're from the UK. Their brushes are really good. So I'm doing the same thing I did when I was setting my brows, and I'm taking some of the Fenty banana powder and some of the Fenty powder foundation. And then I'm swirling them together, basically loading my brush in here and setting. And when I'm setting, I'm not just setting here, I'm making sure I'm pushing it into my nose, like setting my nose concealer, taking it along, then bringing it down to my top lip. Make sense? Do you see the way I've set it has lifted my eye? I'm taking it along very intentionally, and now it's all lifted and set. The reason why I like to set with the Fenty Beauty powder, I've liked doing this in the last like literally couple of days, is I just noticed it adds, because obviously it's a foundation, it's adding another element of coverage, and it just makes it a lot smoother. And obviously we always want it more smooth. Just might as well set that area a little bit as well. And like, look at my under eye. Like, are you actually joking? Are you actually kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're not. Are you? I don't know if my camera has like filtering stuff, but I can't lie, when my skin is looking bad, it looks very bad on this camera. So I feel like it just shows what it looks like, because I'm looking in the mirror and it looks very smooth. So if you prepare your under eye well and you set it like how I set it, you'll be fine. So I call this like the preset. And now we're gonna do like a proper set. I'll get my sponge and literally I'm like almost wiping it off as much as I can, just so there's a light layer, you can barely see it. And I'm gonna set my under eye. Again, when you're doing this, be very intentional. So where I've put the powder is exactly where I want it to be. Down alongside the nose. Perfect. And now the other side. Every time, the other day she came in my room, she said, yeah, thank you. This is a laxative. The most delicious laxative you'll ever drink. What? You stop saying I'm giving people laxatives. She made iced coffee and it's literally Starbucks found dead in a ditch. Oh my god. I've done this area. You can see that I've kind of done like a reverse contour, but it's not how I want it. So I'm just going to go over with a little bit more powder. That's a bit better. A bit snatched for my liking, but it's fine. It will all melt. It's fine. It's fine. It will all melt together later on anyway. And then what I like to do is, without putting anything new on the sponge, I just... yeah. Adds a little bit more structure and we can brush it off later. Oh wait, no, I'm not done. That's enough. Let's move on. I'm bored of doing my face now. Eyes, let's move on. Let's zoom in. This is so good. I first blended out a transition color, a crease color, right? So I've got the brush I always use. Where is it? This is the B Cosmetics eye blending brush. It's perfect for eye blending. Like, B Cosmetics brush is actually sick. ABH Soft Glam palette. I have well loved this palette. And the two shades I'm using from this are Rustic, this one, and what's this called? Oh, Cypress Umber. I don't know how people remember the shades for things, because I will literally be looking in the palette like I don't know the shade of this, and people will be thinking, does she even use it? Anyway, so I took a tap of Rustic, a tap of Cypress Umber, and then I went into my bronzer, tap that off, and this is important. So where I'm placing it, obviously I'm not trying to place it on top of here. We've worked so hard to create this line, so you're placing it like on top of it. Do you see that? Do you see how I'm not blending it anywhere? I'm not blending it anywhere. I probably should have used a different brush for this, but it's fine. And then we're blending it out. And this part you can be a bit messy with it. Once you've put the foundation on and there's no longer like loads on your brush, you can blend it out a little bit more. This eye is done basically. So it's not blended like to oblivion, but that's not what we're trying to do. Spaghetti4000's, she's an icon, she's a legend, and she is at the moment. I think the trend of, you know, the whole Y2K, like you're hot because you're not really like polished. I don't even know what to describe the style, but I think the reason why people really like them is because they're not so polished. She's just a bad bitch, you know what I mean? Like the freckles, smoky eye, like it doesn't need to be precise is my point. Okay, both eyes done. They don't need to, it doesn't need to look amazing, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. So now I literally went straight into the black. I don't do smoky eyes like that, and I think loads of people tell you different ways to do it. This is what I did. I just blended this out. Then I'm using this black brush. This brush is very compact, you can see it. What's that brown stuff on it? Oh, that's the actual colours. Anyway, yeah, this is what it looks like. And then I'm taking Noir from the Soft Glam palette. It's just a black shadow, that's all you need. Pack it on, but not too much. Pack it on, but not too much. Tap it off. And I say this because when I started putting it on and I was moving a bit mad, and I could see like a tiny bit of black underneath, what that had fallen underneath. I said, what am I doing? Yeah, I like to get my face on before I do my eyes, and I wasn't going to change that for this look because it would just mess up my whole flow. So I said, I'll just be careful. Anyway, yeah, so we get this and we're packing onto the lid first, yeah? The lid first, babes. We're not putting this anywhere in the crease. Did you hear? Nowhere in the crease. And we're just gonna keep packing it until there's black all over our lid. Just be careful, make sure it's all packed on before you start sweeping. Both eyes are done. Okay, this is the kind of scary part. You just need to take your time, yeah? Now I've got another blending brush. Oh, this is the Morphe something. I think this and this, they all came in a set. I think it was like the eye blending or eye something set. Get our brush and just feather it out a little bit. Tiny, lightest tap in there, into the black, and add it to really the outer corner and just blend that out. You want to just take a step back and look at the eye in the mirror and just say, does that look blended? Does that look like a nice gradient? If it does, you can move on. So I'm taking this flat brush. This is the, oh, I don't know what brush this is. And I'm now doing my bottom lash. I don't like smoking up my bottom lash bares because it looks weird on me. So I'm tight lining right at the outer corner, and I'm literally bringing it as far as here. I'm not bringing it any further really. And I'm making sure that it's nice and connected with this kind of general line. Then I did inner corner. And I think I just took what was left over on my brush and did down here, down here. I actually think I tried to do a fox eye and it didn't look right, but I'm gonna do it again just because I want it to look the same. Liner, so this is the Kiko 2-in-1 kajal and eyeliner. It's a liquid liner. If you have a liquid liner, it will do. If you have any type of liner, it will do. So I'm going right in the inner corner and I'm making a tiny, tiny wing. I messed up, babe. I'm gonna leave it at that because actually this kind of looks good. This looks better than it did when I did it. It looked a bit lopsided. You know what, let's just stop. One thing I've come to learn over the years doing makeup, stop quit while you're ahead. Lashes. I bought these lashes on eBay and I can't lie, I wore them once and it looked alright, but I've never been able to wear them again because they're just too much. Are you telling me that doesn't look scary? Yeah. So I took one of those and then I cut the ends off because they were too long. And I think they were appropriate for this look because the lashes are going to get lost in the eye. So yeah, I think we can zoom out now. One of my mutuals, why does it look like this? It looks so scary on camera. Oh dear. One of my mutuals, her name is Mim. I'll put her on the screen, yeah? Tip that you can use if you struggle with putting lashes on or if you're just a bit impatient. Basically, get the lash, put the glue on, stamp it onto your eye, like where you would want to put it, just so there's a residue of glue, which is why you can see it like shiny here. And then once you're ready to put the lash back on and it's a bit tacky, you put it on and it sticks like that. Like, it's such a sick tip. Are these the lashes I wore in the video? Guys, I took my lashes off because they weren't adding up. But one of the things I did to deepen the black, I forgot my brush and I went into Eclipse, this black shimmery colour from this Rainbow Violet Voss palette. Violet Voss, the rainbow eyeshadow palette. I don't know why it's got lashes on there, ignore that. It's a bit better. I don't know what's going on, but they don't look even, but it's fine, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. And then I brush away the excess. Like a flat top kabuki brush, Fenty Beauty powder foundation. And I just brushed away excess powder under here, tiny bit here. And then I went into my blush with my Japanesque 960 brush and Tropical Queen, that orange blush. The difference, do you see? Do you see? Exactly. Get yourself up here like this, yeah. Get this, place it there first. Oh, you can barely see it. But you're basically like stippling on top of, like higher than the place where we put the bronzer. And again, we're basically going into the hairline. And we're going all the way into the temple. Like, that's how high I like my blush because it just looks better on me anyway. And then just bring it around. Finish with that. And then I think I deepened it with the NARS Exhibit A blush. This beautiful. And just, again, stippling it on. And then you can swirl to get a really nice blend. I didn't put any on my nose because I didn't want to... I wanted to keep everything very separate, I think. I wanted it very nude in the middle. Freckles. So you know how I was talking about that Kiko 2-in-1 eyeliner and kajal? I have that in brown as well. And I just dotted it on. And then I would take my finger and then transfer it around. It looked quite dark and I was fine with that. But just make sure you don't do too many if it is really dark. Like, it would be nice if I was able to add more freckles with a lighter colour just to mix up a bit. But I don't have that and I'm not going to go and buy it. So literally just do this. you see that how I put 3 dots, but there's bare on my face, and they're all of varying sizes, so it looks a bit, nobody's looking at my face and thinking, yeah, I think she was born with those freckles, but it just looks better. I think I put the majority of them in this area. Is that enough? I think that's enough. Then with the black one, and I added some dots around my face. I'm looking at my face right now and I look almost identical to how I looked yesterday. This is talent. Wow, am I good at this? Anyway, lips. Brown liner, line my lips first. Make sure before you start doing your makeup you have Carmex on your lips so that your lips can moisturize as you're doing it. Line them, but try and keep it to the outsides, not the middle. So what I did was I put the black right on the top Cupid's bow area, bend it outwards. Oh, that is perfect. Oh, am I good at this? I'm not sure. Then I went into my Kiko Hydra Shiny Lip Styler in the shade 15 in the middle, and then, but try not to get it on the brown parts. Then I used my e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Champagne Glam, and I just went over everything. It is kind of glittery, so start off in the middle part where it's light, and then as it kind of thins out, then take it around the brown parts so it really melts them together. Then I sprayed my face, so I like to use my 2 setting sprays. This one's running out, so yeah. Anyway, the Urban Decay D-Slick, and then the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. Start with the Urban Decay one, because I feel like this is the one that sets my skin. Do that until it feels right, man. And this one is very powerful, so I like to do it from a bit further away. And then I fan my skin immediately, like it should be wet, yeah? Fan. Guys, it's up to Jalila what I do. Jalila, should I get changed into what I wore in my video and finish the video?
No.
No?
I'm kidding, yeah. No, yeah, do it. Okay, just change into the top then.
No, let me not be rude. I've actually sat here and done my makeup. I might as well just put the clothes on, man. It's not that deep. Bye, guys. I'll be back in a sec. Oh, it looks so smooth. The brows look great. Eyes look great. The lips are just blush. Do you see my cheekbone like? Anyway. Oh, okay, guys. That's the end of the video. We're done. So you can see how we brought this all together. Please, please, please leave any questions you have down below. If you have any questions about the products I used, how I did certain things, or you know, anything, leave them down below. You can also ask me on TikTok, that's fine. Thank you very much for watching. Should I show you my outfit while I'm here? I think this is so, like, you know, appropriate for the whole look, don't you think? It's appropriate. Do you know how many people have told me to like actually dye my brows? Like, I think I might have to do it. I'm joking, I couldn't. It does suit me though, weirdly. But I feel like I'd have to do this eye, like this look every day. This would have to be my face. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And other boys, Willow should contact me to be in her music video, even though she's already done it. She should make one with just me and her. That would be very fun. Anyway, done.